Hey, how's it going? So I thought I'd share, we're back from fishing because of the weather that came in. Big storm. It's been lightning and thunder and huge rain and stuff. But you can see these clouds are amazing. We're right near Yellowstone National Park, which is in the United States, on the border of Idaho, Wyoming, and even parts of Montana. And it's just absolutely amazing out here. The thunder and lightning is real. It actually shakes the ground, but there's definitely a cell coming over right now. There's another storm over on the other side of these mountains. It's all coming this way, so there's a break, but there's another big storm coming through. And this is spring. I mean, it's early summer, June, but it's a late spring here in Yellowstone, near when you're this close to Yellowstone, because it's wild country out here. It's not the same as California and other places, even Idaho. The weather has got big storms, but it's a lot more benign compared to out here. Here comes another big banger. But the river, we were out fishing this morning, but man, the storm just blew in, and it was tough. We had some fish rising, pretty cool. Had some fish rising around us, but just yeah, just nothing, no takers. It was kind of frustrating, but it was fun. At least we got to see fish, which is awesome, because just fishing and not seeing any fish is like it's like, what am I doing, you know? But when you see them, you can, like, this is my favorite type of fishing, right? I get to sneak up on them, see a fish rising, try and figure out the fly and what they're taking, and then try and present it to them so that they'll take it. And it doesn't always work. I got a lot of practice to do. It's been a while. Oh yeah, just a big banger thunderstorm. But that's all we're doing. We're just sitting inside the camper, staying dry, staying warm. Wanagi's sleeping. We just both ate, and we're just kind of watching the storms roll through. And I think it's going to be stormy all day. Maybe by the end of the day, we're already about 3, almost 4 o'clock. So, ooh, there was a big piece of lightning right up here. Watch. Oh yeah. But anyways, we're just yeah, just kind of staying warm, dry, and enjoying the summer storm as it rolls in. Early storms, early season, wet, which is good, so no fires. But yeah, lots of lightning. Hopefully we won't get hit. That would suck. Anyways, all right, we're gonna go back inside. Stay warm. Look who's just sleeping.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? So once again, we're here at the Henrys Fork. It's the evening. We've been here for quite a while. Over, I think, going on almost 2 weeks now. Or getting close to that. And there just is nothing going on this river. Literally. Like, I've had one today. We went over on the other side of this. So this is all the state, Harriman State Park, or whatever you call it, on the Henrys Fork, right? This is like the place to come fish. This is the historic, like, the Henrys Fork, like everyone talks so well about. And on the other side of this, the river sweeps around and goes out that way down towards Mesa Falls, but it's got a long run and a couple of S turns in here. And on the other side, there's like a it's almost like flats, I guess. It's very shallow, it's pretty wide, and so you can see the fish. It's only, a lot of the shore for, 40 feet off the banks is, 8 inches deep at the most. And so you can see the fish rising and feeding. And there are a few fish over there, nothing crazy, but you can definitely see at least a few fish coming up here and there. But then they'll shut down, all of a sudden there'll be nothing going on. This, though, is consistent with what I've seen since I've been here, is bugs everywhere, right? Caddis hatches, or whether it was a PMD hatch going on, or the Flav hatch, or and no fish rising anywhere. And not even little fish. Like, normally a healthy stream even though maybe you're not going to get some big fish rising all the time, the little fish will be popping off every now and then, and you're definitely going to catch some little fish if the numbers are there. And the numbers are not here on the Henrys Fork. I'm telling you, something's happened. I don't know if it's been the drought that the past couple years has affected it, or if there was a big, the winter was a big winter here, but it's not like the whole thing froze and killed off the fish. You know what I mean? There's so much water here. There's a lot of deeper water. Those fish can hide during the winter, and there's plenty of insects. So it's not that there's no insects on the water. Like literally, there should be fish rising on this river, and there is not. So something's going on with the fishing here at the Henrys Fork. I don't know what it is. I'm not an expert, but I've spent time on the water, and this is absolutely, it's not what people all brag this place out to be. It's something's happened. It's changed. So who knows? I guess in the future we'll find out, because if this continues like this, there's not going to be a lot of people praising this place like they always have, because everyone I talk to, everyone in the campground, everywhere I go, I hear the same thing. No fish. Not seeing fish, seeing a ton of bugs, but no fish. So I don't know what that reasoning is, but I guess we'll see. I'm sure there's people catching fish. I've seen a few fish caught while I've been here. I've caught one or two, but for the amount of hours I put in, this is not consistent with a good fishery. Like, look, in the past half an hour I've been sitting here, I've seen right out here one fish rose. That was it. And I'm watching both ways. No rises. So I don't know what's going on. Look at that rainbow. How cool is that? Right there. Look. There's a double. It's a double rainbow. How rad is that? Pretty amazing. He's on the bank. I'm standing in the water. There's a fish rising out there. Not consistently yet. But there's not much insect activity actually on the water right now. It's pretty warm, which is surprising, but there just isn't much going on right now. I don't see any fish rising other than that one that did. He did a few minutes ago. There might be a fish down there, or it's a duck. If that's a fish, it's a big fish. Look at that. Look at that wake it's putting out, and it's coming this way. So we'll see what happens. We're just dead drifting a leech. It's actually a jig leech, so it kind of bounces with the indicator there, and we're just waiting for fish to hit it. And we'll just cast it a little bit farther out each time. Yo, hey, what's up? Anyways, we're out of here. We're leaving the Henrys Fork. We've been here for almost, what is it? Today's the 27th. We got here on like the 13th. So we've been here for 14 days, 2 weeks solid. And the fishing was just shitty, period, end quotes. Why is that? Because of water levels. The raising and lowering of the dam outlet did have a factor in the fishing. Also the fact that the winter was so huge here, just like in a lot of North America, in the Pacific Northwest especially, huge winter. And so the snow melt off was a lot longer process. It normally happens pretty quick in the spring, and then you have high water through June, and then by the end of June it's back to normal in a lot of the rivers. Usually by July 4th, like the date where rivers are a little more floatable and wadeable and fishable. But this year, just because of all the snow melt, the fact that the spring was so cold, so the snow melt was real gradual, which kept the water temperature really cold and water levels higher. So that affected the hatching of the insects, and this affected the trout. So the trout weren't rising as much because there wasn't a lot of insects hitting the top of the water. Doing a lot of nymphing probably. We tried nymphing, we tried dries, we tried emergers, we tried soft tackles, we tried leech patterns, stripping leeches. And the leech is what we caught our biggest rainbow on. But the fact is that it just was not fishing like a normal year here. I went and I talked to a bunch of the guide shops, and they were consistently saying the same thing, that they were really, the spring was really off. It was delayed quite a bit, almost a month, for what is normal. And then every other fisherman I was talking to on the river was having the same experience, not catching any fish, being here for a week at a time and not catching any fish, and not seeing anybody else catch any fish. I saw a few people catch some fish. Like I said, I caught a nice rainbow, but the reality is, for the amount of time and pressure I put in that water, I should have had a lot more fish. And so, pretty frustrating trip. That's fishing. It happens, but it doesn't change the fact that it sucked ass. 2 weeks really frustrated of no fish, and how much I was just slaying the water, throwing every bug I could try and get the fish to rise, or even if there were any fish rising, which was, you'd see a fish rise and it'd be like rise once or twice, and then that was it. It was nothing consistent with what you would see during a good hatch. So anyways, we might try it next year. We'll see what happens, or maybe later in the year, come back here and try it again. But unless things change or we hear something otherwise, I don't think I'd come back here to fish. I'd drive right past it. I just had a frustrating experience, and it sucked. If it had only been a couple days, but 2 weeks solid of fishing every day, fishing like 5-6 hours a day, fishing like literally, and no, it just, yeah. And I'm not a lame fisherman. I know what I'm doing. So pretty lame.